Hey everybody, Ketwolski here, checking in with a brand new discussions video slash news video. We're going to talk a little bit about Star Trek 4. No, not the one with the whales, but Star Trek 4 2018-2019, the untitled Star Trek sequel to Star Trek Beyond. I want to talk a little bit about where we are currently with what we understand what is potentially going to happen in the film, and the likelihood of it actually occurring, and what my predictions are for Star Trek 4 at this point. So to begin the discussion, I want to go ahead and say that Zachary Quinto and Chris Pine have separately spoken in different interviews that they are excited about Star Trek 4. They believe that it will happen, but they are not privy to any details regarding the stories or if it's 100% Ben Green lit. Now that is kind of interesting because obviously these are your main cast members, these are your primary cast members, so you think that they would be read in a little bit on whether or not they're going to be booked up next year for filming. They don't know, or at least they're saying that they don't know, but I think it's fair to assume that either they're playing coy or maybe Paramount is just reshuffling their 2018 schedule right now and they're not 100% sure where the Star Trek 4 film will land in that, so they haven't told any of the actors or even production staff what's going to be going on with that. So it's fair to say that they just may be out of the loop at this point. But they have both said and expressed high interest in returning to reprise their roles as Spock and James T. Kirk, respectively. Another thing that we know, basically confirmed from J.J. Abrams and Paramount Studios, is that Chris Hemsworth character George Kirk is going to be making an appearance in the Star Trek 4 film. Now, this is very interesting because obviously he, spoilers, dies in Star Trek 2009, which sets off the events of the Kelvin timeline and thus the different, the different path that Kirk follows down, which is a big, huge plot point in all three films at this point, including Beyond. So it's interesting that they're going to be bringing him back, but what does that mean exactly? And I feel like the fact that they've acknowledged that Chris Hemsworth's character is coming back is revealing a huge piece of the plot details, and that's why I feel that I have a pretty good beat on what the storyline's potentially going to be like. So let's go ahead and dive right into that now. Okay, so Star Trek 4, I think it's fair to assume when you add up a few different components what the plot line's going to be. Number one, whether you like the Kelvin timeline or you don't, I think it's reasonable for any person to state that it did not resonate with fans the way Paramount had hoped it would. These characters and these actors are not iconic in the same way that the previous cast and crew were. And it's also very hard to make characters who are already iconic, like the TOS crew is already iconic with fans. It's hard to recapture that same level of iconic, iconography with the exact same characters but with just different actors. So I don't think that the universe is resonating with fans the way Paramount wanted it to go. Then the fact that they're bringing in George Kirk, and we have confirmed that Chris Hemsworth character will return, and that Paramount/CBS is moving on from the kind of Kelvin timeline universe and going back to the Prime universe, and that's essentially, present in the Star Trek Discovery, which is because the new show is going to be taking place in the Time universe. It's most likely that Paramount will then try to attach into that show and then create feature films off of it like they have done in the past with the TOS and TNG crews. So with those things added up, I feel like it's very plausible that we're going to be dealing with number one, a time travel plot, obviously, and number two, I think we're going to be resetting the timelines back to the Prime universe. I think that they're going to close the loop on the Kelvin universe, and that somehow either our Kirk, Chris Pine Kirk, is going to go into the future to prevent the destruction of Romulus and thus any issues that Captain Nero had, why he went back in time, or he's going to save his dad in some way and actually destroy Nero's ship in some form or fashion, probably with the assistance of his dad, and they'll work together to defeat Nero's ship and destroy him. And as they do that, Chris Pine's Kirk maybe fades away from existence because his universe never existed, and that closes the loop on the Kelvin timeline universe, resetting us back into the Prime universe and essentially erasing the alternate Kelvin timeline. I feel like that's what's going to happen. Again, because the universe hasn't resonated with fans, the actors' portrayal of the characters hasn't resonated well with fans, I don't think that Paramount's going to continue to try to milk this franchise. I feel like they want to close the loop on this, go ahead and put this thing to bed so that way they can clear the slate and get ready for any feature films that the Star Trek Discovery crew is most likely going to spawn. Anyways, that's my opinions on what's going to happen with Star Trek 4. I do believe that it's going to happen. I think that they are going to go ahead and close up the Kelvin Timeline universe, and I cannot wait to see Jim and George Kirk on screen together. It's going to be awesome. I hope that you guys and gals enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think about my predictions and what your predictions are and what you'd like to see in Star Trek 4 in the comments below. Please follow me on Twitter at RealKetwolski and follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/RealKetwolski. And I will see you guys and gals later. Live long and prosper, my Trekkies!